Well, looky what we have here. Ladies and gentlemen, we have ourselves a little Bob Conference Luck Division action between Philly's Finest and UFC's Ultimate Fighters. We all know who owns the Philadelphia's Finest. That would be, what's his name again? Jagoff, something. Jenkinson, that's it. Michael Jenkinson. 6-6. He is currently in third place in the Bob Standings Luck Division. And only 2 games out of first place. He doesn't seem too confident. I wish I had his record at the moment. And UFC is at the bottom of the division at 4-8. For all intents and purposes, they seem out of it at this point. Although not mathematically, they would have to win out, and WTC, the division leader, would have to lose out. All right, well, let's see what we got here. Week 14, ladies and gentlemen. This is Shitbag coming to you live. The Philly's Finest win the toss. I think they're going to return. Yes, they are. All right. Well, Joe Rogan will kick off, and the Finest will return here in this divisional matchup. Crow takes the kick return from his own 15, gets about 10 up to the 25, 24. Philly's Finest in 4 wideout formation. It's the first play of the game, and it's called sack by Frankie Edgar. Bad luck there. Pro form now for the Finest. Handoff off the left tackle, and it goes nowhere. 3rd and 15. 4 wideouts. At least it doesn't get called this time, but he doesn't have many options for receivers. He will take the sack, and that is a terrible way to start the game for the Finest. 3 straight plays in which they lose yardage on every single play. That is the opposite of offense. It's the opposite of offense. We now have a punt return for UFC. Carwin will take it. Breaks a tackle, dodges another one, and he is down to the 35-yard line on the Philadelphia's side of the field. Well, UFC's off to a good start here. Wow, the quarterback just takes the ball and runs it about 5 yards. He scrambled immediately. Now he'll fade back to pass. He's got 2 options for wide open receivers. He will throw. Touchdown, UFC. Ooh. You know that hurts. Jenkinson's playoff chances here. To assure playoff spot, he would have to win out. But starting off the game this way, I don't imagine he's feeling too confident. Rogan will kick off again. Feels like we were just here. Wow, Crow is a terrible returner. Strong side I formation. Fades back to pass. He will take another sack. My goodness. 4 straight offensive plays in which they lose yardage. And there's that off left tackle run. Gets him nothing. Actually loses a yard. So that's 5 straight plays in which they lose yardage. On 3rd and long, they hand off. He cuts it back to the right tackle and gets about 5. Probably 7. And they'll punt it away on 4th and long. This is not how the Finest wanted to start the game. UFC will receive the ball in the end zone and take a touchback. They will start at their own 20. 4 wideouts now. And this time UFC will take a sack. 2nd and 12. Same formation. Call play this time. And Jenkinson's Finest will take another sack. 3rd and very long here. Another called play. Is this a safety? Doesn't look like it. Doesn't look like it, folks. They will punt away from their own 1-yard line. This one looks close to being blocked, but it is not. The punter gets whacked. The returner will take it in midfield, and he is so slow. Painful to watch that returner. Handoff. Tackled 3 yards behind the line of scrimmage. A lot of plays for a loss here. Jenkinson's team comes out in shotgun, trying a different formation to see if they can slow down that massive pass rush of the fighters. And the quarterback will just throw it way out of bounds. Iverson just takes off with it. This is the best offensive play they've had all game. They get it down deep inside the red zone. I think they will place the ball at the 13-yard line. And this is a toss sweep to the bottom sideline. Gets about 6 yards. 3 wide outs. Handoff to the right tackle. It'll be 3rd and 1. That left tackle run gets him the first down, but not much more. Ooh, a reverse this close to the end zone. Interesting play call. Benjamin Franklin almost pulls it off, though. He'll end up losing 2 after dodging quite a few tacklers and cutting back. This time, they will score the touchdown on the run play. Mike Schmidt with a nice run off the left tackle. We have a tie ball game, folks. The momentum appears to be swinging back into the Philadelphia column. Tina Fey will kick off, and Carwin will return it. Oh boy, the kick return fumble is every team's Achilles heel. The finest will take over once again deep in UFC territory. Looking for an open receiver, he will just take a sack again. Daniel Cormier. Halfback toss. That'll be the end of the first quarter. It'll be 3rd and very long here. It'll be interesting to see the play call. It is a pass, but he will take another sack. Oh. Finest pick up the ball near the red zone, take a couple of sacks. This will be an extremely long field goal attempt. It will be close, and it's through. I am very jealous of field goal kickers who can make field goals this year. Tina Fey making it happen for the finest. 10-7 Philly. Here comes UFC on the return. Very few yards. That time they will start at the 16-yard line. Massive pass rush by Philly. Oh my goodness. The quarterback, Silva Duff. Who's the quarterback again? Oh, GSP. Just overthrows the receiver. And another sack. This has been sack mania. I know Jenkinson loves sacks. Big hairy sacks. Oh my goodness. The Tecmo gods are falling into Philadelphia favor. This was the second fumble deep in UFC territory. This time Philly will take advantage, and they are up 2 scores now. 17-7. My goodness, after that hot start, UFC has not done much. They will return it from inside their own end zone this time, and they will only get to the 10. Ooh. And the return man is out for UFC. Shane Carwin. Let's see who he'll be replaced by. Shrek. Well, it's time for UFC to answer back. Let's see if they can. Looks like the pass protection holds up, but the quarterback throws it way out of bounds. 4 wide outs. Let's see what we got here. Called play. Oh my goodness, this is the second time they're knocking on the door of the safety this half. Are they gonna do something stupid? They get out of the end zone, but not much further. 4th and very long. Philly will get the ball back with plenty of time left here in the second quarter. This would be a terrible return once again, but the Finest don't need it. Very good field position, plenty of time. Philly goes for that reverse play. It's one of those all or nothing plays, and it is smothered for a 2-yard loss. Fades back to pass. Another wild throw, way out of bounds. Both quarterbacks are not feeling it today, it seems. Shotgun formation. We got 4 or 5 targets. And he throws. The safety gets over there just in time and knocks it away. The Finest will have to punt. Very little time taken off the clock. This one will go deep into the end zone. No return here. And UFC will take the ball at the 20-yard line. 2 minutes, 37 seconds to go. My goodness, there's just been a ton of pass rush on both sides. A wild throw by the quarterback overthrows his intended target. This play is called. Oh my goodness, he does get the pass off. Oh my. The third fumble of the first half by UFC. It's just unfair. Who can compete like this? 3 fumbles. Finest will go with the toss play. The running back cuts back to go straight up the middle and gets 1. Same play? It is. This time he does take it to the sideline though, and he will have himself a first down and then some inside the 10-yard line. Plenty of time to go, but Philly takes a timeout for good measure. Handoff, this time to the right tackle, and that running back dodges a few tacklers. Rocky Balboa will take it in for the touchdown. It's been all Philly's Finest since that initial drive by UFC. 24-7. And the return by Shirk. I prefer Shrek. He is very slow. Fighters did not put much money into this backup. Shotgun formation. It's the draw play that everybody knows and loves for a nice 7-yard loss. 4 wideouts, another called play. My goodness. Called plays and fumbles. This is the story of the Fighters' first half here. 4 wideouts. He's got an open guy up top. But the coverage gets there just in time to knock it away. The Fighters will punt it away again. Plenty of time for Finest. They can find Benjamin Franklin streaking. They will return it from their own 25. Crow is just as slow as the Fighters' backup returner. 5 wideouts and shotgun, 33 seconds. Let's see how they handle this opportunity. Iverson throws it out of bounds as hard as he can, about 10 yards down the field. 4 wideouts once again. Who's he looking for this time? Throwing it deep down the bottom sideline, and a JJ by Betsy Ross. And she won't have enough. And we will end the half with a 24-7 lead for the Phillies' Finest. Nice JJ by Betsy Ross. She's got those nice legs. She came down with it, but there was just not enough time in the half to take advantage. Tina Fey kicks off. UFC needs to come out with something, otherwise this is well on its way to being a blowout. Terrible return. Oh my gosh. The 4th fumble by UFC. Unbelievable. 31-7 Finest. There's a lot of time left, but UFC looks like the bad news bears here. Well, in situations like these, inspired by Jenkinson's announcing style, I like to go into story mode. So, well, let's see if UFC can do anything on this drive, and if they can't, some things I'd like to get off my chest about TOL, about my team, Well, UFC does answer back. Oh my goodness. This is absurd. This is absurd. 5 fumbles. And we're barely into the third quarter. Bobby really rigged this one. I am telling you what. Yeah, so the playoff picture's really shaping up. I know we have some new rules this year. We're going to be able to adjust and make some substitutions, something we would only be able to do in the playoffs. For me, who's only ever made the playoffs once, I only got to take advantage of those rules that one time. But this year, we get to do it in Week 15, which should be kind of interesting, but I gotta be honest, my team is 5-7. Lost a lot of close games this year. My kicker has missed so many game-tying or game-winning field goals. It's really upset me out. Off safety, of course. I guess the only thing worse than that would have been a fumble. So 33-7 now. The UFC is just taking a pounding. Yeah, so it looks like it's all over for me. I am in an especially difficult division and an especially difficult conference, and I've lost every close game I've been in this year. So, yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm going to take the rest of this game to bitch about it. Jenkinson gave me a new nickname. It's Shitbag. I don't know exactly what inspired it. I know what inspired Tim's name, because he starts every game with "We are live," and obviously Dictator Bobby, who has ruthlessly forced us all to endure a sprinter's pace over the past week and a half, maybe 2 weeks. So many games. It's been hard to keep up with. It's like sweatshop type conditions around here lately. Bobby really is taking advantage of his free labor. And I'm salty because I haven't had an announced game in a long time. And I know why. Because my team's irrelevant. And we've had a rough New Year's. We didn't come back very strong. We lost to 2 terrible teams. Oh, that was thrown way over his head. I noticed on that crow route, if the quarterback throws it even 1 millisecond too early, he throws it like it's a fly route. Same thing here. He waited long enough, though. You got to wait for that route to finish, and this time it will be a touchdown. This game will put Philly's finest over 500. They've been kind of meddling around there. 1 game over, back to 500, 1 game over. As I mentioned before this broadcast, they were 2 games out of first place. Depending on how the other games go, they could find themselves in second place and 1 game out of first. Just after Week 14 action. So I went to broadcast journalism school at the University of Illinois at Chicago. It's right off Interstate 290 for those of you who are interested. I learned from Professor Bobby Heenan. He was chair of the department at the time. As you know, he had a long career in broadcasting. He's a broadcast journalist. He calls things right down the middle, fair and square like me. I know a lot of biased announcers in Tecmo Owners League this year. It's obvious that they want the underdog to win. It's obvious that they want their division opponents to fail and lose. But not me. I call it right down the middle. $40-14. One good thing about this game for the Finest is they're really going to improve their point differential, which is gonna matter, I think. If not just for a playoff spot, but for seeding purposes. Daniel Cormier gets a sack. Boy, there's been a ton of sacks in this game. And I mentioned before how much Jenkinson loves Harry sacks. I was in division with UFC owner last year. His name's on the tip of my tongue, but I can't remember it. We split the series 1-1. Oh my goodness. Oh, well, that fumble was actually in UFC's favor, but it doesn't matter now. Who cares? Less than 3 minutes to go. Oh yeah, down 25. I better start handing the ball off. Great coaching decisions here. Is Matt Nagy coaching for the UFC? So, one interesting thing about the Finest is that it doesn't seem like it this time, but it seems like their defense is the weakness. The last game I saw was the Jenkinson Bowl, and they gave up, the Philly's Finest defense gave up 51 points, and it had to hurt to lose to your brother in the Jenkinson Bowl. But what are you going to do when you're inferior? 4 wideouts. Who we looking for? Oh yeah. A nice 7 or 8 yard gain. That's gonna do it when you're down 25. Short pass. Why wasn't he doing this in the first quarter? Juking and jiving. This one will be... Oh, I thought he was going in. UFC endured a fumble right in this exact spot quarter ago. Stop him at the goal line. He's trying to cut into this deficit, but with only 1:06 left, I just don't think there's anywhere near enough time. They do cut into the deficit a bit, but with less than a minute to go, they're going to need 3 touchdowns and 3 onside kicks successfully recovered. Onside kick not recovered, despite the player 1 advantage. And now I expect the Phillies' Finest to just run out the clock. Or score a touchdown. Either or. They get that touchdown right back to maintain that plus 26 pending the extra point. Ooh, off the upright. Well, we're looking forward to Week 15 action. We already get to start making those substitutions, as I mentioned before. It's not going to matter for some of us who are virtually eliminated already, but it will matter for Philly's Finest. This will likely mathematically and virtually eliminate UFC from playoff contention. Philly's Finest are still in it. Thrown into coverage, that pass will be knocked away, and this blowout is finally over. Philadelphia's Finest, 47, Ultimate Fighters 21. This was an interesting game, full of turnovers, a lot of sacks. Really not a whole lot of passing. Some decent amount of rushing from Philly at least. Well, this is shit. What is it? This is Shitbag signing off. Owner of the Chicago Drunkards.